Good, beautiful morning. It is Wednesday, August the 17th, 2022, and I want to welcome you to the Wednesday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. Today I have with me the energy of my guardian angel, John, who wants to talk about getting out of your head. I'm very excited about that. When I was asking about what he was referring to, he was saying quite simply, people have not learned to make a distinction between the head on their shoulders and the thing they call their mind. The head that he's referring to that you have to get out of is the one that is what you would call your personality, that aspect of yourself that has been made up by the world. Who you think you are, when you look at your thoughts, when you look at your memories, and you look at your emotions, that stuff is made up. It is not who you are. It's experiential information and sensation that you have had the benefit of experiencing while living in a physical incarnation. But it's time now, during these increased energies of ascension, to learn to get out of your head, to make the distinction between yourself as the thinker and the thoughts, to recognize that your thoughts are not who you are. Most of them aren't even yours. Get out of your head, he says. Get out of your head. Recognize the incredible being that you are, that can observe thought, that can change thought, that can alter emotion, thereby learning to change time, space, and the conditions in which you exist, experiencing this physical dimension. Being able to alter your thought, to control your own mind, what some call your head, to control your own head from the perspective of your being, will afford you an opportunity to create a life that's most splendid for you. You are not designed to suffer. You as a soul were not designed to suffer. You as a soul were designed to create, to thrive, to experience the effects of your own causing, to learn from them, evolve from them, expand your creative potential, to become unlimited in some sense, comparatively speaking, to what you've been conditioned to believe you are. And many of you believe you are your pain, and you are your anger, and you are your sadness, and many of you believe this. That is not who you are. You are the one that aware that you are in pain. You're the one that is aware that there is sadness. You're the one that is aware there is anger, but you are not them. They're your energy, the substance that you may create with, and you may create good, and you may create bad, and you may create joy, and you create suffering. You may create whatever you will create, for this is what the Creator intended you to learn to do, to create, not to simply be a puppet on the strings of this world, but that the world is to dance for you, not you for it. I came to William many years ago and brought him from a place where he thought that he was his pain, and he thought he was his suffering. He thought that so truly and deeply he was ready to jump off a bridge, and I spoke to him and said, "Don't do this." And he heard, and he listened, he realized there's someone speaking to me. He stepped down, he moved to a new direction. You are hearing me now for a very good reason, so listen. You are not your pain. You are not your anger. You are not your suffering. You are not your guilt. You are not your shame. These are mostly fabrications given to you from this world. Some of your religious institutions would call it the darkness or the devil or evil. It doesn't matter what you call it, but there are elements in this world that benefit from your suffering. It is very obvious for those of you that can open your eyes. But your suffering is not even yours. It has been given to you. It is given to you through the mechanisms of technology, as equally as light is given to you through the mechanisms of technology. But information, ideation, these things are designed to either liberate you or enslave you. And the only way you can make that distinction is to recognize that the information in your mind is not who you are. Get out of that information. Get out of your thoughts. Get out of the emotions and examine them. And you will recognize and understand that most of those things in your mind and most of those emotions that you currently possess are not even yours. They were given to you by this world. It is fairly easy for us to observe what is happening in the realm of your mass media mechanisms, where you can see shows and information being given to you that deliberately instills and manufactures fear for you to experience, and you become attached to that experience of fear, thinking it is real. And you adopt from the world, from those who are giving you information, from all those giving you information, even those of light. You may adopt information or you may reject information that you receive from any source. But it is your choice that you awaken to make that discernment about what information you will allow and what information you will disallow. But your suffering is not you. Your depression is not you. Your anger is not you. They are conditions of consciousness that you are connected to, that you may easily and readily observe. And we've seen this many times where you easily turn around and say, I feel sadness right now, when you weren't feeling sadness before, and you observe that there's a sadness. The sadness is not you. It is an energy. It is real from the perspective of its experience of being uncomfortable for you, but it is not you. And that energy of sadness, that energy of anger, that energy of guilt and shame, these are energies that you have the capacity and the ability to alter and change as an act of a loving consciousness, which is what you are. You are a loving consciousness. It is what you are. It is what you are, a loving consciousness. And how do you treat your sadness? And how do you treat your anger? Usually with more sadness and more anger, you get upset and frustrated with it. You attack it. You attack your own energy. Energy that was made up for you, made up from TV shows, made up from books and radios and other individuals who have given you their ideas about what you should feel or think. And in this process of getting out of your head, where you can begin to examine that certain qualities of energy that you currently host in your body are amenable to change as an effect of your interaction with them. And the nature and way in which you interact with certain emotional qualities will alter and change the quality of that energy. How many of you have ever turned to your sadness and said, I love you and I will care for you? How often have you turned to these emotions and communicated thusly to them? Most of you say, I don't want to feel this. I do not like this. But how would you feel if your neighbor or your friend said they did not like you, they don't want to speak to you? You would not feel very good. And so you actually increase, magnify, and amplify negative emotional conditions by the mere action of your judgment towards them. And yet you have the very ability in your consciousness to say to them, I will take care of you. I will love you. And experience what happens in those energies when you do that. Experience what happens. When you turn to your frustration, you say, I'm with you. I care for you. Instead of attacking it or attacking others. What would happen? I would challenge you to do this, to turn to those inner emotional elements of your consciousness and begin to interact with them more lovingly and more compassionately. For the world, if it were able to do so, would be doing it right now. But you have been given that body that you are in. You have been given that personality that you now have to deal with, that the world has provided for you. And now you must learn how to change and alter it so that it serves you. Much the same way as you move into an old house and you wish to renovate it. Well, recognize if you are in discomfort, you're in an old house. It is time to renovate your house. And you renovate it with what? You don't renovate it with a wrecking ball. You renovate it with thoughtfulness and compassion and caring and kindness, and you renovate the interior. And when I say this, I mean to change and alter qualities of emotion, you must learn to interact with those qualities of energy differently. If you substitute the term emotion for energy, you have the exact same thing. It does not matter. You can substitute that term emotion for energy. They're the exact same thing. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but it can be changed from one state of existence into another. You can change an emotion from fear to love, from sadness to joy. You can literally transform and transmute those qualities of energy as an act of your soul. You cannot make a change in that system if you believe you are the system. If you believe that this emotion is who you are, then you are bound to be in that energy because that is the decision you have made. But if you recognize, I am aware of my sadness, I'm aware of my anger, I'm aware of this fear, now how do you want to treat it? Do you want to treat it by putting it to sleep, by drugging it, by killing the body? How do you want to deal with it? Or do you want to deal with it and experience the experience of transforming your energy through thoughts and interactions with those emotions of love, of compassion, of kindness, of patience? Give that to your sadness, compassion, kindness, patience. Give that to your fear, compassion, kindness, and patience. Give these things to those and watch as those energies in receiving that from you will be changed. You are the light. You are love. That is your nature. The nature of your mind and personality is somewhat different as the world has fabricated most of it for you. It's a house that you've inherited from this world. And from the moment of your conception into that body, up until your age of what you call around 6 or 7 years of age, your entire personality is made for you by your environment. You are told your name, you are told your age, you are told your sex, you are told all things about who you are supposed to be. But you're not told that you are the one that can change what those thoughts are. You're not told that you're the one that can change what those emotions are. You're not told this. You're not taught that, but that is the fact of truth, that you may interact with emotional qualities within your own consciousness and change them as an act of your divine will. For that is what your awareness is, the potential of divine will. And do not let the organizations of this world try to tell you differently the truth that is obviously evident, that you can watch your emotions, that you are not them, that you are aware of them. Most of them are not even yours. You inherited them from your environment. You inherited them through other elements that we will not get into discussing at this time. But suffice it to say, it is time to get out of your head so that you can begin to remodel your head, remake your house, your mental house, remake your mental house. When I first came to William, he went on a process after he stepped back from the precipice of a bridge, and he began a process of studying very, very slowly, changing one thought at a time. In the beginning, it was very difficult for him, but he began a process of recognizing that he was able to change what was going on in his mind. And in the sudden awareness that he could do that, a great weight was lifted from him. And the same will be true for you when you recognize the distinction between yourself as this divine entity that you may call the soul or spirit or light, whatever name you will choose to give that aspect of self that is you, that can observe your thoughts and observe your body. Does not matter, but that aspect of you may experience the interaction with that body, experience your interaction with your thoughts and emotions, and experience the change of these things. Experience that you are an agent of your own change. Do not wait for the environment to do this for you. If the environment were capable of eliminating your suffering would be over right now. And yet there's so much that loans itself to supporting your suffering. Turn off your televisions. Be careful what you read, and be mindful of who you listen to and what you accept. For it will have an influence and an effect on what your mind will think and what your emotional energy will manifest as. For your energy manifests according to the nature and quality of certain thoughts, ideas, and images, which you as an individual can alter and change. The world has given you most of your thoughts and images, and many of you believe that they are true, and you are bound then by your sadness and your fear of the world falling apart and all these terrible things that have been given into your mind, and you accept them. You do not have to accept them. You are a divine entity, an awareness, a soul, here to experience creation through the manifestation of matter, time, and space, and your interaction with those things. Get out of your head, and you will discover the freedom that has always been yours, for the world cannot give you that which you already possess. And so you go to seek in the world the fulfillment and the happiness that you possess, not knowing you possess. It even entices you and tempts you. Come here, come here. You can find freedom here. Read this or do this thing. But you are the freedom you're seeking. To understand that you, as a beautiful entity of divinity, can alter and change your thoughts and emotions, will be the single most profound awakening for some of you. And for some of you, it may take a bit of time to gain the experience and the recognition that you are not your thoughts, that you are not your emotions, that you are not that body. They are instruments that you utilize in the function of creation. And I and many others on this realm and others will say often the same thing. You'll begin to see there's a commonality between all great teachers on all levels, commonality that says you are the divine, having an experience with time, space, and matter. But you are not time, space, and matter, but you can experience them as you create, as you will. Thank you, John. Thank you. Well, it's a fascinating thing that we are all in this place together. There's going to be a huge influx of energy into the planet over the next 3 to 5 days, and probably a little longer, but over the next 3 to 5 days, for those of you that are struggling with mental and emotional health issues, learn to teach your mind to be quiet and still and calm and peaceful. It's going to be really important now because the energies coming in will amplify either positive or negative energies. It's just energy coming in. It's like if you add electrical energy to a light bulb at a certain wattage, you can maintain a brightness of that bulb. You can increase the energy and increase the brightness. You can decrease the energy and decrease the brightness. But if you add too much energy, you can blow the bulb unless you have something that regulates that electrical current. And your awareness, you beautiful soul, you are the regulator. And that means you learn to get your body into a quiet, peaceful place and keep it there. Keep your mind still and quiet so that when these energies come into your body, you'll integrate them in an effective way. If you're in fear, uncertainty, guilt, shame, those energies will equally become amplified. So please take the time over the next few days to learn to literally teach your mind and body to be in stillness, because they can't do it themselves. Your mind and body require direction either from you or from an external source. Your mind and body are directed and require direction either from you or from an external source. And unfortunately today, a lot of the external sources are focusing on fear, uncertainty, doubt, terror. You watch any TV show, almost any TV show now has fear your neighbor, fear your friends. This is manipulation and control of the most heinous kind. And you should not be allowing your mind to be filled with those things. So keep your mind still and quiet, specifically and especially over the next 4 to 5 days, where you're just allowing yourself to be still and quiet. So these new energies coming into the planet will not affect you in an adverse way. And I want to apologize to those and say welcome to everybody who's new to the channel, and welcome to those of you that are familiar with the channel. I'm grateful to have you here, and it's a real honor and privilege to be able to have the opportunity to be a medium in this lifetime. And we'll get to your questions now. If you have any questions. Hi, SJK. Good to have you back. Wonderful. And hi, Tiffany. Welcome. Any suggestions on helping me heal and create abundance? I create a GoFundMe to help with this. I have been working on feeling worthy. Well, that's amazing. If you're working on it, Ask yourself this question. I'm being told to tell you to ask yourself this question. If you already had, and be very mindful, Tiffany, what you feel when you hear this question, what you feel when you hear this question. Because first you're going to hear the question, and then your brain is going to repeat the question. And at the moment your brain repeats the question, there's going to be a neurological or an energetic response in your body. And be very mindful of that energetic response. The question is this: if you already had the abundance you desire, how would you feel? And whatever emotion or energy comes up in response to that question, allow your awareness to connect to that energy and use your breath to intensify and strengthen that energy in your body. Like, feel that feeling of, if I already had the abundance, what would I feel like? And to really stay in connection to that feeling, stay connected to it. Use your breath to strengthen and intensify it, because you want to generate an energy that matches the outcome that you want. So that's very important. Emotion is energy in motion. And if your emotion is negative, the movement of expression or manifestation in your life is going to be negative. If the emotion is positive, then the movement and manifestation of your energy is going to be positive. And if you can maintain that energy, Tiffany, over an extended period of time, make a habit every day of staying in that energy of abundance, that feeling, staying in it. Anytime your mind tries to present to you the opposite or circumstances, go back to the feeling. Go back to the feeling. Let go of your fear. And you'll find very quickly and soon that that energy will become the dominant creating source in your life. Because all your conditions in your life right now are effects of your overall emotional frequency right now. And that's true for everybody and anybody. It doesn't matter what level you're on, how rich or poor you are. Your conditions of your life match your dominant emotional energy. Very fascinating. Thank you for that question, Tiffany. The other thing you can do, Tiffany, if you like, you can post your GoFundMe thing in the chat. Also, I want to mention, there's now a new feature on YouTube. For those of you that are watching, there's a new feature on YouTube if you want to support this channel called Super Thanks that you can use on any of the videos. Watching them, you can simply click on an icon there that gives you a chance to click and make a donation to this channel. And it's a new feature that's just been activated on this channel called Super Thanks. Other ways you can support this channel is through my Patreon page, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. Yes, I see that. Question from Adam to Metatron. Explain the principles. We're here to talk about getting out of your head. And yet I think this is really relevant too at the same time. The principles of metaphysical processes of how an astral being manifests according to the specific range of vibrational frequency to give a different appearance. Well, you do that right now. You've done that right now. The body that you're in right now is a different vibrational manifestation of your consciousness. The lifetimes you were in before is a different manifestation of that vibrational consciousness. You're seeking to find some mystical, difficult explanation for an answer that's very simple. Your body and biology will change repeatedly as you alter and change your biology. That is just what happens. The minute you can alter your vibration, the conditions of your biology, even in this lifetime, will begin to change. And the quality of consciousness that you cultivate in your awareness, by the time this physical form ceases to function, you'll bring that vibration as the source that manifests the next physical incarnation. All matter, all time, all space, all conditions form themselves around that basic fundamental principle of the vibrational frequency of energy. And you are a frequency of energy. And what you give attention to alters and changes that frequency of the manifestation around you. You yourself may align yourself to a frequency of consciousness that you deem to be the highest. And you may then observe in connection to that what that vibration will manifest. So you can experiment and explore in the process too of what would happen if you were to move your awareness into a feeling of joy or a feeling of bliss or a feeling of freedom, and stay in that feeling long enough so that the vibration produces enough intensity behind it that it begins to orchestrate and organize matter in the form and shape of that vibrational frequency. Great question, Adam. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Wow, so this is the kind of Wednesday it's been. And I hope you guys really understood this. For those of you that are interested in learning more about how to become a medium or how to even learn to get out of your own head, I encourage you, there's still time to register for our 102 Mental Emotional Masterclass, which began on Monday. All of our live events, there's a total of 19 live events that happen over the next 3 weeks. These live events are recorded and placed upon a group wall where you can observe them and watch replays at your own pace. You can still sign up for the course. You go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com/courses, and select Mediumship 102 Masterclass. And I hope to see you there. Again, there's only a couple more days left for registration, and then it would be a little bit difficult for you to try and catch up to all of the work that's being done. Not impossible, but a little more difficult. Oh, hi, Drusilla. Good to see you again. Yes, remember to like this video, subscribe. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. Share this information with other people. Right now, we're watching the human collective unconsciousness is more tilted towards fear than love. And anytime any one of us can elevate our own consciousness up, we begin to shift that. You know, even a single grain of sand on a scale that's balanced can make a difference. So don't underestimate the power of your ability to alter and change your energy and affect the overall collective consciousness of humanity. Not only the collective consciousness of humanity, but the energies that are coming in and affecting us too. We can affect and alter matter, time, and space with our consciousness. Thank you for that, Gina, for suggesting people give this a thumbs up. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, hello, beautiful soul down in Jamaica. Wonderful to have you here. It is so good to see you here. Again, I'm looking forward to this later in this week here, or on Friday's short. I'm going to have Master Jesus present with us, and he's going to be discussing know thyself. And he told me to put in brackets, awake, arise, ascend. And that's going to be this Friday with Master Jesus. Please join me for this energy, because his energy is always very beautiful and grounded and loving and kind and compassionate and truthful. I want to wish you all much love and thank you for coming out to the channel. Remember to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so you know that when we come live, you'll get a notification to that effect. And thank you to my patrons. You'll be receiving the Patrons Live event this afternoon for this Sunday. I'll look forward to seeing all of you then. And I want to wish you all much love and a wonderful, joyful day. Bye for now.